Hi everybody and welcome back again to Noob Airsoft. So today's video I'm going to go through a little bit of a kit that I have that I got a lot of questions about at the weekend, and it is this little guy. So this little guy here is a hellfire round. This is a CO2 charge with a BB cylinder on the end of it. Now you can get these in various sizes. This is always the same, by the way. But you can get these that hold like 160 or 190 BB rounds. Now, I don't use these, they're just pointless for me. But I do use this. Now, this is done by a friend of mine. This is a guy called Jamie who runs a 3D printing software site. And what he's done with this is make an adapter for hellfire rounds with a nice hole in the end of it. Now, that nice little hole in there isn't for anything other than a Mark V. Stick your Mark V in the end of it, put it in your launcher. You have to have a short launcher, something along the lines of, where's my launcher gone? I do have a launcher, where'd it go? I'm not very prepared for this, as you can probably tell. There she is, along with my other one of these. So you need a pistol style launcher. Can't have a long tube on it because what you need is for this to sit right near the end. And the reason for that is once this is fully charged and loaded, you've got your Mark V in it, you can light your Mark V and see you get a decent range. If you look at the video, you're talking on a good charge with a brand new CO2 in a CO2 loader like that. You get about a good 40-50 meters out of it. Definitely further than what you can throw one, there's no doubt about that. They are really, really good, fantastic, absolute game changer when you're talking about being out in the field and you want to throw a very cheap and inexpensive bit of pyro at somebody. Depending on where you are, they may actually class it as a mortar round, being that it's a projectile, so you could get 15 meter or 10 meter kill radius with it. Typically with a Mark V, being it's a small handheld pyro, they treat it as a 5 meter kill radius, so something to worth checking with. Ask your marshals, things like that, say, look, this is a projectile, would it class as a mortar? They may say yes, they may say no, because it is still a Mark V. But these things are fantastic. Now this one is still charged. This is a full, or is it? No, it's not. Nearly launched it off. Yeah, so this is just a simple CO2 charger. So you put a CO cartridge in one of these. This has got a bit of charge to it. You depress the little valve in the bottom there. So when you launch it, you're just about to see it, that will come forward. So all you do is you push it back down again with your finger, stick your CO2 charger into it, push it in, hopefully in the right position. There we go. It loads up. That's loaded, ready to go. It is that easy. You could do this out in the field. I did it Sunday just gone. We are now on, what, Tuesday? So I went through 10 Mark Vs. It does get expensive when you're launching them sometimes, being like, what, 3-4 quid each. But yeah, you can stick your Mark V into that and launch it out. It really does change the dynamic of the game. Pair that with a couple of good players, maybe a support weapon, you really are a formidable team. You can completely dominate the game with something simple as that, especially if you've got 3 or 4 people using them. I carry these two on my plate carrier all the time. That sits in dump pouch, and I literally boom, boom all the time. You can also, if you take the adapter off, stick that in your dump pouch out of the way, you can launch I do have one, green smoke. So it's, once again, no adapter on it. You just stick the hellfire charge straight in the box, in your loader, like that, stick her in, and poof, off she goes. Now, they don't go particularly far. These are a lot heavier, and they don't actually sit inside the launcher very well. There's a lot of slop and a lot of play, so you lose a lot of power. However, if you get a little bit of toilet roll, 2 or 3 layers I've found works quite well. Put it over the end of it. And then stick it in. You don't want it tight, you still want it to be able to come out, so you've got to kind of gauge it whether or not it's too much or not enough. But yeah, a little bit of kitchen roll in there, almost like a sabo round. That will make a big difference. You'll get a much better seal on it, and you'll be off and away, and this will go pretty far. I haven't tried it yet with the tissue. I will say this is just a recommendation from a friend, and I don't see no reason why that won't work. But yeah, so there's like 2 and a bit layers there, and that is now taking up a lot of slack. There's a little bit left in here, but you can feel it when you push it down. It's definitely a lot firmer. When these go off, it should go quite well. Let's take that out because it is charged. Yeah, that's it. So I believe his site is called Airsoft Proto Tech, or Pro Tech. I can't quite remember actually, to be honest. But he does go on Etsy and things like that, so you can get these. They're not expensive either. I do 3D printing. You can see one of my printers right there. I do a lot of 3D printing. I would charge more for these personally. I think they are fantastic little product. These have launched 40, 50 Mark 5s. No problem at all. No problem at all. Now, the only downside is if this was to fail to fire. I do have another short one. This is a all metal body. I do have a plastic one, and the firing pin, which you can just about see, comes out there. The firing pin doesn't go out quite far enough to push this in fully to discharge. What I've had happen is you get a little pfft, nothing happens, but you've still got a lit Mark 5 sat in the end of one of those. The good thing is as well that these have got just enough slop in it where if it was to not want to fire, you can literally just sit there and fling it, just give it a flick, and it'll come out the end. Just obviously do it away from your teammates. But it's nice. You've got to be quick. I haven't detonated a Mark 5 in the end of this. I think it would probably destroy it, and might even make a bit of a mess of your loader. But they are good. They are very, very, very good. I think they are well worth the £5 or £8 for a print. Now these will run you about 35 quid on their own, but obviously you take your charger. I have a scrope pouch, and I have this with Mark 5s and a few CO2s. You get 3 reloads. The last one's normally quite weak, but you'll get 3 reloads out of one of these to a hellfire, and then off you go. I mean, what else do you need? Something cheap for... Get one of these at a boot sale. Somebody's always selling a launcher at a boot sale. Get one of these, anywhere from 20 to 40, maybe 50 quid for a nice one. Get one of these at a boot sale. You know, hellfire round. They do them on patrol base. They do them all sorts. As long as it's a CO2 charged and like that, it should, not say it will, but it should fit. It's got to have a threaded insert to it. That's the only stipulation, really. Must have a threaded insert. Stick with a hellfire, they work. All I do personally is after each game day, you can probably just about see inside, it's a bit greasy because I discharge them and I put a drop of Waldo's lubricant down there just to keep the seals nice and supple and everything else, and they seal up a treat. These things you can pick them up on AliExpress for like 15 quid. And yeah, I mean, now you're adding up to about £100, but for less than 100 quid, you've got something that fires Mark 5s. Now, you compare that to a tag round. Each tag is going to cost you, is it 9 quid or 11 quid for one round? Not including the tag launcher. That's like 250, 300 quid for a tag launcher. this all of a sudden becomes very, very, very attractive. So, well worth getting. I will post a link in the description below to the Etsy page where you can pick these up, and everything else you can get yourself. But yeah, Jamie, absolutely spot on. These things are brilliant. I love them. And after this weekend, it's just proved that, you know, this is an absolute game changer. I took this out with my MTW, who had yet another problem, but I'll go into that again later. But yeah, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I launched, say, 10 rounds out of them. Massive, massive, massive difference in the game. Well worth the money for the adapter. I had this already, so yeah, it's nice and cheap. Brilliant. That's it for me, guys. Please excuse all the mess behind me. We are building a new studio at the moment. We've discovered we've got a bit of a problem in the roof, so we've got to get that fixed before the new studio can be decorated and built and blah blah blah. But yes, it is on its way. I've got a nice new studio coming, and the videos will be coming out more regularly. It's been a bit of a gap between this one and the last one, so I do apologise, ladies and gents. But yeah, we will be moving on and upwards. I've also got a promo video coming out very soon with 50/50 rigs. He's given us one of his rigs to test out, and we're going to do some on-site sort of videos of it and see how see what we think of them. But yeah, he's a small supplier. He's just based down the road from us, and we saw some of his kit. So I like the looks of those. Let's do a video on him. He's agreed, so we're going to get a video done. Yeah, that's it from me. Have a fantastic time. Enjoy your play-in. The good weather is on its way, so here comes to a fantastic new season of Airsoft. Yay! Right, look after yourself, ladies and gents. Take care. Bye-bye.